Blessings, bright ones, and welcome to day 10 in the creative matrix, where everything is uplifting and supportive. Everything reminds us of the potential that is and can be. Everything opens our awareness to welcome in all of the blessings, all of the beauty, all that inspires us in this world, in this life, in this existence. So here we are on day 10, and I'm feeling guided to just be present today, to be present and to be the open channel, just to be the beautiful open vessel that spirit can flow through. So I am going to dive right into a deep conscious breath. And when we take a conscious breath, we are aware that we're welcoming into our body, our awareness, this moment, everything that supports our journey. We're calling from divine source. We're calling from this infinite plane of existence, and we're welcoming it into our experience, into our journey. So I sit here now and offer gratitude to all that supports us so completely. And I take a conscious breath until I feel this beautiful gift of life beginning to connect to my own heart, to my own spirit. Do you sense spirit supporting us? Do you sense nature just rising up to greet us? Each and every one of us. Remember, I'm just the channel. Well, the message is today, get out of your mind space. Let's get out of our head, out of all these concepts of what will be, what might be, what could be. We're gonna just leave it for a moment. Everything that we don't have the ability to see right now, we're going to just let that be. We're going to let it be. If it's not within our realm of awareness right now, we're going to trust that it's in a perfect place. We don't have to see that which is not easy for us to see. Okay, we're going to come right into our heart space and ask the universe to guide us, support us, and inspire us. Spirit says, imagine yourself right now. Imagine yourself and you have all of these whispers and voices all around you in all directions, 360 degrees. You have all these whispers, all of these beautiful voices, different varieties, different sounds, different energies, all holding their own frequency, all holding their own truth. Now imagine that a few of those voices get very loud. A few of those voices declare that they want to be heard. Where does your awareness go? Your awareness goes to those voices, to those sounds that are impressive, overwhelming, very apparent. They say it takes practice to dial down the energies that appear louder. It takes practice to disempower them so that you can tune in to all of the other voices that are calling out to you. Imagine now, remember I said there are all of these voices 360 degrees all around you, all of these beautiful whispers, all of these beautiful voices. I don't think you actually need to participate in the message of every single voice that exists. It would be overwhelming too. So perhaps only a few of them have messages for you today. Perhaps only a few of those voices resonate with where you are at today. So what if we disempower that which is impressive and apparent and loud and distracting? We disempower that, so our focus is not going there. But then how do we begin to tune into the voices that are most supportive for our journey? We don't have the ability to hear them individually and discern. So how do we know that we are being guided to all of the experiences, all of the voices, all of the inspirations in life that really match where we are? And Spirit says, are you willing to believe that you're not alone in finding everything that supports you? Are you willing to believe that there is a sacred intelligence, a sacred consciousness that exists, that is always drawing to you the voices, the experiences, the opportunities that match where you are, that bless where you are? Are you willing to recognize that you're not alone in this experience? If that is true, if it's true that someone, something, some beautiful force of life is guiding, orchestrating everything to bless your journey, to support your journey, and then our focus is best placed upon what it is we wish to know. So in this exact moment, let's experiment with this. In this exact moment, knowing that all channels of communication exist, seen and unseen, within our own emotional structure, within the whole cosmos that is. All levels of communication exist, all channels of frequency are open and ready to participate. I'm going to set a very clear directive to welcome in only that which supports our journey forward, our collective journey forward. This entire circle of light reminds us that we are all in this circle together. I'm going to ask for support from those beautiful guardians that see our journey and know that we are here. We are here to rise into our own self-empowerment. So I ask to receive. I ask to welcome. All that now supports, all that now assists. Interestingly, energetically, I sense a beautiful grandfather Gator appearing. You can tell he's weathered by time and age, experience. I can tell that he's been through the veils, back and forth, countless times. Gators can sometimes be considered the gatekeepers between the veil, or the veils. And so I ask what he is here to support us in, and he says, come. Come, let me guide you forward. And he shows me that he is so massive in size that it's easy, it's gentle for me to just step upon his back so that he can carry us forward. And as he does, he takes us through what I would consider the Swamplands. Similar to this area here, but filled with water, filled with ancient muck. These swamplands represent everything we wish to avoid, everything we wish to sometimes deny or keep ourselves separate from. But he moves through these swamplands so easily that it's as if he's gliding on top of the water, although I know he's immersed in it. He's moving through this so that we are just gently on top of this energy. And I can understand he's doing this for a great purpose. If we decided that we're brave enough to jump into this swamp land, it would overwhelm us. The energies that have remained stagnant in this field would begin to consume us, because these energies, remember that they are stagnant. From the moment we decided to shield, to deny, to turn away from these shadowed energies, they have not grown. They have not expanded or evolved. So this swamp area represents everything we don't want to see about ourselves. How interesting. And yet I feel so safe and so supported as he guides me through. So I follow him forward, and I hear him beginning to speak to me telepathically. But he's humming this song, this rhythm, this chant. He's humming something that sounds like it's from the beginning of time. And it's something that's meant to find resonance within me. It's a deep tone that's meant to remind me of where we come from. The tone, the song, the chant wasn't just speaking to me, to us. It called out to all universal source, saying that today is a sacred day, and it's time for the keys, for the power, for the truth to be handed back to us. And I sense on the other side of this swamp land, I sense a great golden eagle beginning to descend and appear, and he sits in one of the trees there to await for our arrival. And so the golden eagle is also communicating telepathically to each of us, speaking to our soul, bringing to the surface this ancient remembrance of being one with all life. He says there was a time when all humanity knew how to co-create, to communicate, to be in harmony with all life forms, seen and unseen. There was a rhythm to all life. There was a heartbeat that was universal, that connected us all. In the same way that we saw all these voices being held simultaneously, and yet we were able to tune into just one or two. That's how the world worked. All of the voices had their space. All of them had their frequency to express themselves uniquely, clearly, freely. And yet we all had the natural ability to just tune into what we needed to connect to. So grandfather Gator is now approaching the land, the other side of this, I'm going to call it an emotional wasteland. Not because it's not worthy, it's not purposeful, because we have discarded all of our own shadows into this plane that we did not want to pay attention to. And yet, energetically, we just move through it. We just move through it effortlessly. We just moved through it and feel no different for having moved through, because we did it with support. And Eagle now stands almost as if he's a guardian, meaning not as a bird form, but as a guardian of golden light. And from him I can see the eagle wings arising. I can see the eagle head all around, but he is this guardian, and he stands now as the gatekeeper to this new plane of being. And he says, before you come into this sacred space, this sacred land that has been created for you, it's important, wow, it's important for you to look back at where you've come from and draw back into yourself. Take it with you. Everything that you have ever discarded, everything you were once afraid to face, once afraid to accept. Let all of these aspects of you, all of these truths that are part of you and you alone, let them be retrieved. Let them be recalled. Because in this space of divine support, with this golden light standing before us now, we recognize there is nothing that we could face, that we could step into, that we wouldn't have the ability to navigate through. The perception that any of this is shadowed and must be hidden is an old perception. It's an old belief that no longer benefits us upon our journey into self-empowerment. Loving ourselves as we are through all moments of experiences is a vital part of stepping forward with integrity. So we must look back into this shadowed space, and this is all emotional. This swamp area is all emotional. This is our emotional debris. This is our emotional truth. It's important to, just as if you're just picking something up so naturally, just call to yourself now, all that is mine to reclaim. I accept responsibility for all that I am. I stand in the beauty that I am authentically, and trust that all that no longer serves me in this now moment is easily transmuted, easily transformed. In the moment that we accept it back into our awareness, in that exact moment, it lifts up and no longer has any sense of form that defines us. It has returned to the whole, and has returned to the one. And now our eagle brother says, welcome. And I begin to see all the dancers, all these beautiful beings of light, of all, I'm going to say all creation, from this realm of consciousness and awareness and far beyond. All of these beings beginning to dance and to celebrate. And as they do, the land beneath their feet comes alive. The land beneath their feet comes alive. And what began looking like this forest behind me, this woods behind me, begins to come alive with color, with light, with beauty. It begins to come alive, to birth itself almost into a fantasy realm of being. Water begins to cascade through, waterfalls, crystalline energy flowing through. Crystals and stones begin to rise from the earth. Everything has a beautiful, a sound that's almost as if it's divine chimes. Everything is sparkling. Everything is illuminated. And I ask, what is it that we can step into? What is it that we can receive here today? What are we stepping into today? And Spirit says, to reach this liberation, to reach this point of free expression, of joy, of bliss, of liberation, we must journey through the gateways, the chasms of our own self. We must come face to face with all that we had thought ourselves to have released, to have placed aside. But if it's still part of us, it will come up to be seen. If we are able to love ourselves through every authentic emotion, every authentic perception, then we can hold on to all of the support that guides us through. We can call upon all the guardians and all of the keepers of the higher truth, and they will prepare the space for us to step into what is next, to step into our own soul expansion. But it must begin by accepting the call, to face all of our own insecurities, all of our own deepest fears. I hear power in the words accept the call. And this allows me to really understand that when we are wishing to step forward, Spirit will bring to us opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to go deeper into our own self. And when we are able to really accept that call, to accept the invitation of Grandfather Gator, to ride into those chasms that we had avoided, we can move through it gently and effortlessly. We can move forward because we are no longer who we were when we created this separation of self, when we created this doubt and this questioning and this sorrow and this anguish. It's not who we are. It's the tale of who we've been. But when we no longer feel bound by it, defined by it, we can step upon the new field of potential and possibility. We can accept the golden call to accept, to allow all the beauty, all the healing, all the bounty to be. And knowing that this new field is our destiny, it is what we are here for, we can bravely look back and call to ourselves all that is ready to be healed. And the moment we are ready to heal it, it shifts itself, it frees itself. They have just brought us through a whole powerful journey of healing. And now in this new field of color and life and beauty, all rising for us, celebrating us, there is nothing that we need to do but be free. Allow ourselves permission to just be authentic and real in who we are in this now moment. There's nothing we need to do to earn the privilege of being here. This is who we are. All that is awakening around us now, mirroring to us this beauty and color and life, this is a mirror of who we are. They're creating space for us to discover ourselves. Are you ready for this, to see yourself in this grand state of being? To see yourself moving through all of these moments of challenge? See yourself moving through with support from the divine so that you can arrive at this new space where you feel ready to accept, to love, to celebrate who you are. This is our journey moving forward. This is the creative matrix, making choices to step into our greatest potential, creating our blessed reality on this earth realm, in this earth existence. Love yourself as you do this. Be gentle with yourself as you do this. There is no race. Remember, you will be offered opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to step into this healing process. But know that through this healing, you find yourself. I feel incredibly blessed just to be part of this today. I understand what they're wishing to show me. I feel the strength of Grandfather Gator beneath me. I feel the brilliance of Grandfather Eagle, or his radiant eagle, and just sinking deeply into me. If you wish to message me, do so. But this is here for you. Trust your intuition to guide you through. And yet, there are so many more journeys for us to take together. So visit my website, alaniastarhawk.com. Let me know what you're thinking, how your life is moving forward. Let me know how I can support you and assist you. We're in this together. You are so beautiful. You are so loved. Namaste. So it is.